International Media TV. Television that listens to you.
Hi, I'm Johnnie Burrell. Welcome to the program.
On March 28th, more than 60 countries around the world commemorated Earth Day. It was a time to educate people that more should and could be done to preserve the Earth. The strategy was to shut off lights for an hour to conserve energy, and for the most part it worked. San Francisco, as always, did its part to help educate its communities and the world. And at the end of that day, it was lights out. Before the commemoration, artist extraordinaire Lori Roby and I spent some time at San Francisco's historic Ferry Building Plaza and other locations. We were asking folks about what their thoughts were regarding the commemoration and what they were doing to conserve energy. You'll hear some of those thoughts.
This is Mark Westland from San Francisco's Environment Department. Did you realize that you can recycle batteries at curbside? Just put them in a plastic bag, put them on top of your black cart, and we'll pick them up. You can also take them to any Walgreens in San Francisco. We also take every kind of plastic except for plastic bags and styrofoam in the curbside carts. So whatever you have, we'll take it and put it to good use.
Hi, we're doing a program on the Energy Hour this evening. This is where 60 countries are taking place with shutting off their energy for 1 hour. And in San Francisco here, we're shutting it off from 8:30 to 9:30. Bay Bridge, Golden Gate Bridge, Coit Tower, and major landmarks here in the city. Could you tell me, are you guys involved personally in energy saving? And if so, how?
Yes, we drive. We both drive a Prius.
Oh, great.
So we do as much as we can to save on gas.
And are you finding that you're driving less?
Not really.
And at home, are you energy saving in any way there?
Yes, actually, we never turn on the heat. We go all winter long without heat.
Layer up, right?
We layer up. We layer up, yes.
And in the summer, air conditioning?
Minimal.
Very good.
Yes, the Prius we drive, they get excellent gas mileage. So you can, it gets 40, 50 miles to the gallon. So you can save a lot of money by driving one of those.
And have you, do you shut down or have you changed out your lighting at home?
Yeah, we always have minimal lighting on too.
And do you try to now, when you go out on errands, to do everything at one time instead of going back and forth from home?
Pretty much so. I'd say so, yeah.
So you feel that you're contributing and looking into how to save further on energy?
Yes, definitely.
And do you have any children?
Yes, we have a grown daughter.
Oh, great. And they're being educated also?
Uh-huh.
Great.
Yep.
I don't think they save as much energy as we do.
Right.
But they're working on it.
Oh, great. Teresa, we're talking about the Energy Hour this evening. Are you aware of this?
I am. As a matter of fact, I received an email from Colleen Hasselbrigg, an architect friend of mine in Seattle, to alert me to what was going on, to see if the organization that I work for was going to be involved with it and how things were going to take place and how it affected me in San Francisco.
And what company do you work for that would be involved with the energy saving?
I work for a property management firm that's nationwide.
Oh, great.
So they were talking about how that would affect our apartment communities and what we were doing to advertise it.
And what are you doing?
What we've done is we've posted it on our website to encourage individuals to participate if they want to. I can't shut down entire buildings, but we've encouraged people on our website to participate all throughout the Pacific Northwest.
Oh, Wonderful. And is your architect friend, does she do green buildings or involved in solar?
She's totally into Gold LEED certification. She's very, very active in green and alternative energy sources. So Colleen's definitely heads up on that, and she was the one that sent me the email to make sure that we were involved in some aspect.
And do you like this idea of around the world participation?
Oh, absolutely. It's very cool. It'll be interesting to see what happens.
And how do you personally save on energy? What have you done in your life that style that you have changed?
I moved to San Francisco. That means we walk, for gosh sakes. Doesn't everybody?
An example of using bad energy is when people rent all-inclusive and they think, well, hey, I pay for it, so I might as well use everything I can. I think that's not very smart because, yeah, you ruin the world. In Holland, where I come from, we use a lot of water and wind energy. And I think people should explore more the possibilities of the natural resources because, well, that's the only thing was left in a couple of years. So in the meantime, well, try to do what you can and save some energy and with that save the world.
Hi.
Hi.
Are you folks aware of the energy hour this evening?
I just heard about it today.
And you're aware that that's going to be going around the world, and it's to acknowledge that we need to save on energy?
I thought it was just purely to put the kibosh on the oil cartel.
And yourself, have you saved on oil, speaking of oil?
Yes, I've downsized from an SUV to a four-banger.
And do you use it as often as you normally do?
Mainly because of work.
And at home, are you recycling and saving on electricity, etc.?
Sure.
Yes, I bought the fluorescent bulbs and I recycle.
And so you're united behind all of us in America here to get behind, since we're some of the largest energy users in the world. And if each of us take part, as you are, do you foresee that we will be able to cut down on our energy?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
What time is the event?
8:30 to 9:30 this evening.
8:30 to 9:30. So we just turn out our lights for that amount of time, right?
That's correct.
All right.
Will somebody be monitoring the impact on the electrical grid?
I believe so, yes.
That'd be
Oh,
great.
good. How
That's
will we
fantastic.
notice that?
Probably on the internet through Obama.
About saving energy, I would say at the market we try not to wrap flowers in any wrapper. This way we get them without having to use and waste any of the materials that not necessarily, that we can live without. We do save energy as far as we're doing. All the lighting in the store is energy efficient. We turn our refrigerator off every once in a while. Just as soon as we empty it of flowers, we don't keep it on.
We use water as much as possible. Reuse our packing materials as much as possible.
And we try to think about other ways of, like, at home what we do is we change our soil from, like,
This is true.
he lives in one area, we live in another. So rather than wasting
Going out
this
buying
soil
new soil.
and going out buy a new
we
soil,
transfer it from one garden to the other.
Yeah.
That's true.
In terms of energy, I know it's important. Later in the future, it's gonna be really important. Like as times go by, like global warming and using energy and stuff. Like it's gonna be a big problem in our lives. Like not just like individually, but like in everybody around the nation and like around the world. I know most of my friends, they don't care about energy. Like they'll have a light on like all night. Like they'll leave their TV on. But like me as an individual, like I know when to plug off, like turn off stuff, and like even like phone chargers to unplug that. And like I know energy is really important. And like as an individual, I know I do my best, like try to like help out and stuff. But that's pretty much it.
Right. Well, I mean, we're still kids, so for me at least, I don't pay my bills. But for the most part, yeah, I don't think we're aware that we do use a lot of energy every day. What do you have to say?
I know that when I walk out of my room, I turn the lights off, and even when I'm in my room, like I try to use as less energy as possible.
My computer actually turns off by itself if it's not being used, so that actually helps a lot. And in terms of like cell phones and MP3 players, like charging and stuff, I don't really charge it unless I really, really have to. So I think that I'm pretty much trying to do my part.
You live here in San Francisco?
We do, right down by the water here.
And you've heard about Energy Hour this evening?
We have.
Great. And are you guys participating personally at home with saving energy these days?
We do our best, absolutely.
And in what manner?
Let's see. We recycle for one, and we try to remember to turn off the water and not let it just run. We turn off our lights and just try to be conservative with lights.
Well, she turns on the lights and I follow her around and turn them off.
Oh, so you guys work as a good team.
Yeah, we're a good team.
Like
I turn them on,
else,
he turns
right?
them off. Exactly.
That's
exactly.
Great. And are you finding that you're driving less?
Yeah, we try to walk or, bike ride. I walk to work or we commute together.
And is that one of the reasons that you live down here on the bay so that you can walk to work?
Definitely. Trying to avoid, getting in the car and driving as much as possible.
And I'm down at the train station, or down in the peninsula is where I work, so the train station's a walk, and we both ended up picking up some beach cruisers, which we ride down to the store to get groceries rather than take the car.
Oh, great. So you guys, you had intentionally moved here with some of that in mind to be close to your work and to transportation?
Definitely one of the benefits. So.
Yeah. And so are you finding that you are, in fact, saving money also by doing that?
Sure.
I think so.
Yeah. It's not something we sit down and put pencil to paper, but I'm sure it makes a difference.
Yeah. And do you discuss this with your friends? Have any of your friends commented on what they're doing to save with energy?
I would say absolutely. We have a friend that started a recyclable bag company, and a lot of our friends are very environmentally conscious and doing what they can to save energy.
That's great.
All makes a difference.
Yes, it does.
Yeah, I don't turn off my computer enough. I'm trying to turn off lights. That's pretty much it.
How are you saving on energy?
I am saving on energy by being more aware and turning off the water when I'm brushing my teeth.
I'm from Amsterdam, and I think that what the people in San Francisco are doing for the environment is very interesting. I think it's very good that they're raising awareness for this issue, but I think the solution lies in the government taking an active role they have to invest in natural resources for energy and not rely on non-natural resources such as oil. So I think for a sustainable future for the world and for a better environment, raise more awareness and get the government into it and invest for the future.
Oh gosh, and now we're at one of my favorite places that I come to every weekend, and this is truly an energy saving area. People using fresh food from local buyers. Isn't this wonderful? People coming here and gathering. Not using the internet, but actually seeing each other face to face and knowing their growers. And I'd like to introduce you to one of my favorite guys, Jim, who is the sprout guy. Come follow me. This is my favorite sprout man, Jim, from Fallen Leaf Lake. And I understand that you're aware of the Energy Hour this evening.
Yes.
From 8:30 to 9:30?
I wasn't aware of the exact time, but I heard it was for 1 hour this evening.
Right, and you'll be participating at home, shutting down your energy?
Yeah, I thought it was more for commercial buildings in the city, but is it
but also
worldwide?
Personal.
Oh, okay.
But also personally, how have you and your family conserved on energy in the past few years or recently?
We actually have been looking into going solar. And one of the not a requirement, but one of the suggestions was that we get all of our appliances and everything that's that uses energy as efficient as possible first before we did that. We replaced all of our refrigerators. We got in an on-demand hot water heater, a new dishwasher. So we've lowered our electric bill about 30% just by changing to any energy efficient appliances.
And as a grower of your sprouts, etc., have you in some way learned to conserve on water?
That's more of a trial and error. There is a certain requirement that they need, but we're always trying to use as little as possible.
And I am sure you compost, etc.
We do. We have a couple of very large compost piles.
And are your kids very involved with this too?
Very is maybe not the best word, but we're always encouraging them to participate and pay attention to their use.
Turning off the lights, etc.
Yes. I don't know if you have small children, but it's a challenge at times.
Yeah.
I think it's a good thing to highlight abusive uses of energy.
Now, you grew up on a farm, did you not?
Yeah.
And were there, doing that, was it naturally energy saving in any ways? Like
not really. I grew up in the 70s, and it really wasn't talked about a lot back in the 70s. We seem to have, we thought we had energy for hundreds of years at that point.
So you didn't have wood-burning...
we had wood-burning stoves, but we also lived on a large ranch, so we had a lot of trees, to use. I mean, they had a diesel-powered furnace that we got rid of. But I can't honestly say that it was done out of energy efficiency. It was done more out of, it was cheaper.
But you're also probably participating in energy for people with wheatgrass and barley grass. And
absolutely.
People...
Sure.
Conserving their own personal energy and helping with our future healthcare situation also.
That's said very well, yes.
I heard about Earth Hour through the media and other sources, through friends, and while I definitely think it's a good idea to bring the world together for an hour, to turn off electricity, to get people involved, to have people realize, that it's important to save electricity and to help the Earth, I really don't think it's going to have an impact until people feel the personal impact on themselves as far as, how much money they have to pay for electricity each month and how it's impacting them. Until, our country starts getting flooded from all the melting glaciers, people aren't going to realize that saving electricity and doing their part to help the world is really going to help themselves in the long run.
Could you tell me how you and your family are saving at home?
Well, what do we do, girls? We make sure we always have the water turned off, low flush toilets, we make sure the lights are always turned off, we recycle everything, we walk when we can, we take public transportation when we can.
And do your daughters participate in that too?
Yes,
you turn off the lights?
You turn off the lights, don't you? I guess not. They're ready to go.
And you try not to use the heat very much anymore and keep the windows closed?
Yeah, we don't. Right, exactly. We don't use no air conditioning really in the summertime unless it's really hot. The heat doesn't go on because our house is really well insulated, so we're lucky.
And so you like the idea that the world is uniting behind energy saving?
I love it, yes.
Great.
I think more people need to be aware of it.
And are they educating your daughters at school about this also?
Are you guys learning about this at school? No, they will be.
We do a lot of recycling at our house. We chop firewood for our heat most of the time all winter. We have a wood-burning stove that provides all our heat.
Wow, very good. You are involved. And yourself too?
Not the wood-burning stove, but yes, we recycle, and our business received a Green Award in Sacramento as well. So
and what business is that?
Dolan's Lumber.
Great. And have you found that you're driving less?
Yes, we're driving less because business has slowed down, so we don't have to go to work as often as we used to. So we do drive a lot less.
And so then you're getting the benefit of walking more and getting healthier.
Yes, exactly. Using our bikes when we can.
Oh, yeah. And we're fortunate we live alongside a state park with a biking trail, hiking trail. So we get to walk on that to the boating marina and get our exercise that way.
Well, that sounds good. So you're finding that energy saving is actually a benefit to you personally, not only to the world, but to yourself personally.
Well, it saves us a lot of money. So, and you were quizzing us earlier about how things change, and I was remembering I was younger than Forrest, but at our house, when we moved into our first house in Baltimore, our stove was a wood-burning stove, and my mother had to cook over that. And when we installed the gas stove for the first time, that was the biggest thing since the expression sliced bread, to be able to just turn the nozzle and get immediate heat. My father didn't have to go out and get firewood to start up the stove.
But you said that you do wood burning now, so you kind of missed that, and you kind of have come full circle back to wood burning.
Yeah, but we don't cook, excuse me, we don't cook on the stove though. Back then we had to cook on the stove.
So you have like a potbelly heating type of stove.
We designed our house for our living area so that the wood-burning stove provides all the heat. We can shut off the rest of the house and we don't need to turn the heat on. So
Wow,
it works real well.
That sounds great. Are you thinking of doing that yourself?
Would love to, and that was 30 years ago, so he was well ahead of the time.
I'm very impressed. I
you.
hope you have been also educating the people around you. It sounds like it.
Well, we do. With the wood-burning stove, we've been a proponent of that for years. But, of course, what's happening now with the smoke it gives off and the participants, a lot of areas don't want wood-burning stoves because it creates more smog and breathing issues. We're fortunate where we live in the foothills, we don't have that problem. So we can still burn all winter with no fire days. I read in today's paper, or I think it was in the paper or in the San Francisco magazine, about these new fluorescent lights and all the problems they're having. They were touted to be a big energy saver, that were supposed to give you 10,000 hours of use each. They cost about 3-4 times more than a regular light bulb, but they're breaking down, they're not lasting 3 or 4 days. So for all the info, as promised, it's just not living up to its promise.
I love the way the Dutch harness the energy of wind and water to provide energy for their country. I think we can learn a lot from the Dutch.
Doe wat je kan en red de aarde.
Do what you can to save the world.